In this video, we'll review the basics of the quoting process. If you would like greater detail on any aspect of this process, please contact your prompt representative. We'd be happy to assist. To access quoting from the prompt portal, go to Products, Quoting. Upon clicking this, a screen similar to the one below will appear, showing a list of all your quotes in a table format. To view or edit a quote, simply double-click on it or click the paper icon to the left of the quote and click Revise. This will open the quote editor, which will be discussed in the creating a new quote portion of this video. To copy an existing quote, click the paper icon to the left and select Duplicate. All information except the following will appear on the quote: customer due date and customer effective and end date. An important note on quote behavior: editing quotes after they're sent to your clients will not be possible. This restriction is in place to ensure a trustworthy audit trail of your operations and interactions with your clients. In this spirit, each quote has a unique ID attributed by the system, which cannot be edited. Okay, next let's discuss the 7 different functionalities available to aid you in using the quote functionality. First, there's search. This versatile tool can be used in many different ways to narrow down your list of quotes. Next, we have filter. Clicking on the filter allows you to filter the grid based on information entered. Reset clears the information, while save saves the filtered information. In this example, we've changed the customer due date to 12/30/2024. After clicking Save, only those that meet the search filter will appear in the grid. There are 2 ways to sort in prompt. One is to click the Sort button, or you can click the 3 dots next to any column header, then select Sort. A few more items. Expand expands the grid and removes the new quote button. The eye will allow you to toggle on and off hidden columns, while refresh will refresh the grid to show any new information entered since the grid was generated. Onto grid buttons. This is how you configure your grid by clicking the 3 dots. Once your grid is set, you can click Save when done. Let's talk about creating a new quote. To create a new quote, click the New Quote button in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Clicking the New Quote button will take you to the Quote Breakdown screen. On the Quote Breakdown screen, the first thing to do is to select a customer. Once clicking on Select Customer, a screen similar to this will appear. Type in your information, click Search. Highlight the record you want to use, then click Use Selected. Some base information when creating a quote. The rate type are the defined rate types for your organization. This is customizable to your company's needs. Incoterms is the Incoterm that will apply to the quote. The customer due date is the deadline set by the customer to receive the quote. The customer reference box is currently free-form text, but can default upon request. Finally, the dates. The quote effective and quote end date. This is the validity period for the quote. Default values here are set to 30 days. You can set default values at a company or a customer level. Next, let's talk about trade pairs. When creating a quote under trade pairs, first select the mode type. Then enter the origin and destination UN locos for the trade pair. If there's an intermediary destination, you can enter it in the via box. If this is a direct shipment, check the is direct shipment box. This will auto-populate some key data. If another route needs to be added within the same line, click on Add a Route. This is key to provide options to your customer based on things such as duration, cost, or emissions. Finally, the origin and destination term and inland information is defaulted based on the mode that you choose. Let's take a look at cargo details. Before calculating the quote cost and margins, you need to input the cargo details, which will be the basis of the calculations moving forward. First, we have the commodity. This is either free text or single choice based on your data. Put the information in here. Next, we have the dimensions. We have the dimensions and the weight. The weight is necessary for LCL quotes, while both are needed for air quotes. Should you want to add multiple cartons, you can click the Add Carton button. The bottom line will provide the total. So in this example, we've got 2 cartons. The weight and the dimensions are added up on the bottom line. Next, we have container type. This is mandatory for a C quote. If a container is created, you must enter the quantity of containers next to it. Finally, under details are going to be other cargo and service options. These are customizable fields that can be used to add detail and choose multiple items. Next, let's add a leg. This feature is going to be inactive if direct shipment has been checked. Clicking on the button to add a line will add an additional leg. The origin of the new leg will default from the destination of the previous leg. Clicking Add a Line opens up a completely new line in which all the steps we've previously talked about must be followed. The 3 dots menu within the green line allows you to delete a line or duplicate a line. You can also create a quote via an upload. We have a template. To download the template, click the arrow. The template will look similar to this. To upload a file, select Choose File. To find the file on your PC, then click Upload. To save a quote, click the Save icon. If there are any errors that require fixing, you will receive a pop-up notification. All errors must be fixed in order to save the quote. Once saved, your quote number will appear on the quote, and the quote will appear in the grid. Something to think about when saving a quote. When in doubt, save rather than submit a quote. Quotes submitted to the client cannot be edited, while saved quotes can be edited at a later time. So let's talk about submitting a quote. You're going to submit a quote from the Quote Copilot screen. To submit, click the Submit button in the top right corner of the screen, and the Quote Copilot screen will become available after submitting a quote, and it'll look similar to this. Let's talk about different aspects of that Copilot screen. First, we have the selection rules. In this example, the selection rules default on cost, but you can drag and drop selection rules, then click Apply. Also, the Incoterms from the base rate screen will carry over, but you can change them here if needed. From the selection screen, click the R1L1 line. All of the choices available for that route will appear. Charge codes are marked as is applicable based on the Incoterm chosen. They may be unchecked. The unit cell amount shows default charges. These amounts may be edited based on your security level. You may select one or more carrier's information to appear in your quote. To select a carrier, click inside of the box so it is highlighted. You may click inside multiple boxes. Click Apply Selected when done. In this example, you can see that multiple alternatives were selected and all will show on the Copilot screen. To generate the quote, click the Generate button in the top right corner of the screen. Once generated, a PDF will appear. The look and feel of this PDF can be customized to vary based on your specifications at a company, branch, or department level. To share a quote, for example with a client, click the Share button at the top right of the screen. Once Share is clicked, a screen similar to this one will appear. Type in the email address. Click the plus sign. You can do this multiple times to add multiple people to share the quote with. When done, click Share. Upon sharing, you'll get a screen similar to this one showing that the quote has been sent. So what does your client see? Your client will receive an email similar to this along with a PDF copy of the quote. They can click on the link to view the quote. Upon clicking the link, your client will be brought to a screen similar to this. They can approve or reject the quote, then click Submit. If multiple routes are selected, each must be approved or rejected prior to submitting. Once a quote is submitted, your client will be asked to enter their email and hit Submit. A verification code will then be sent to the client. The client needs to enter the verification code and then click Verify. Your quote will now appear as accepted in your grid. Thank you so much for watching our video. Please don't hesitate to reach out to your prompt team member if you have any questions.